does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Beyond Balderdash, the classic bluffing game. This is for 2 or more players, ages 10 to adult, and it'll take you, I don't know, 15, 30, 45 minutes to play. It really depends on how many players you are playing with. And in Beyond Balderdash, you are going to be trying to make up phony but realistic sounding answers to incredibly obscure and difficult questions that most likely no one is going to know the answer to. It's a trivia game, but only ever so slightly. It's a very popular party game. Do I like it? Does it stand up to the test of time, though? Let's open it up. I'll tell you what I think. Right in. We're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Beyond Balderdash. So first and foremost, we got our handy-dandy rule sheet. It is one page, double-sided, no pictures, no frills, but it's very well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all. Well done. You probably need it once or twice, maybe one more time just to check how the different point scoring works. But other than that, really straightforward game I can teach you right now. So in Beyond Balderdash, each round, one person is going to pick one of these cards. They are going to pick one of these things on this card. It will either be a word, a person, initials, a movie, or a date in history. They're going to give that date, person, movie, whatever, and then everyone is going to write down not what they think happened on that day, but an answer that they think will convince other people is the correct answer. And I'll show you an example to make more sense. While they're doing that, the person who is the reader is going to look at the back and actually see what it means. So let's just go with Thrunter. So let's just say this is the first round, and if I had the card, I'd look and I'd say, all right, Thrunter, what does the word Thrunter mean? So now everybody is going to have a little piece of paper, and they're going to write down exactly the definition of Thrunter that they want everyone to believe is real. So we'll just do a couple right here. So it is a hunter, a spear hunter, a throwing spear hunter. Hunting with throwing spears. There we go. A hunter who uses throwing spears. I think that's a good one. Hunter who uses throwing spears. So someone's writing this answer down. They probably know it's not correct, but they're trying to trick everybody, so they might put that right there. And then this one, it might be a small mechanical piece in the toilet. A small part of the toilet, part of the inner workings of the toilet. A small part, a part of the inner workings of a toilet. So they would write that one down. And everyone's doing this at the same time, I'll have you as well. So it's not like, oh, I wrote down my answer, now you can. Oh, I wrote down my answer, you can. And you're all going to keep your answers very, very secret. Small inner workers of words. A type of glue. Yeah, let's go with a type of glue. Because why not? And Thrunter. It's a camera malfunction. Sure. Camera malfunction. I don't think it's a very good one, but hey, maybe. So, everyone's going to write down their answer. And they're going to put it face down. They're going to secretly give it to the person who has the card. Now, also, the person who has the card is also going to be writing down the actual answer, which is a 3-year-old female sheep. Really specific, but they would write that down. I don't actually have an extra... Yeah, so I'll just write it here. Sheep. 3-year-old sheep. 3-year-old female sheep. So, now what's going to happen, now that the person who has the card has all the answers, is they're going to mix up all the different answers, and then they are going to very secretly read them all aloud. So they would say, all right, what is a Thrunter? A Thrunter, what does Thrunter mean? It's part of the inner workings of a toilet, and they don't let anybody see the piece of paper, and they don't let anybody see the words on the either, because the writing or the type of paper someone's using could give it away. A type of glue. What hunter is using throwing spears, and yeah, you got it. All the stuff we wrote down. So they would say all those aloud. They might say it once or twice or something. Then everyone around the table is going to take turns picking which one they think is the correct answer, because one of them is going to be the correct answer, because the person who wrote it down knows what it is. The person who wrote it down isn't going to guess, though. So everyone's going to take a turn guessing which one it is. How this works is once everyone has guessed, you take a look over here at the handy-dandy point chart, a player earns 1 point for every vote that they receive. So if you write a very convincing answer, like I think that Spear Hunter one would probably get me a point or two. A player earns 2 points for choosing the real answer. So if someone actually thought it was a 3-year-old sheep, a 3-year-old female sheep, then they would get 2 points. The Dasher, aka the person with the card, gets 3 points if no one chooses the real answer, which really not in your hands. And any player who writes an answer which is very close to being correct or is correct just automatically gets 3 points. So let's just say that scenario that someone had given me, a very young sheep or something like that, then I would actually take that answer, set it to the side, because you don't want 2 of them saying a really young sheep, and then there would be one less answer, and it'd say, oh, someone got it correct, and one of these, yeah. Anywho, you move up on the point track. The only thing interesting about the point track is if you're on double score, then the next time you score, you get to move up double the spaces, and you rinse, wash, and repeat going around the table until someone reaches the top of the scoreboard, at which point they will be the winner of Beyond Balderdash. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alright then, Beyond Balderdash from Parker Brothers. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. It says 2 or more players. Ignore that. It is 4 or more players. You will not want to play this at 2 or 3 players. The 2-player, they have a special variant. It's just not that fun. I didn't really enjoy it. Me and my wife didn't really enjoy it. 3 players is also, it has really glaring issues because the thing is, with 3 players, there's 3 possible answers, and one of the answers is going to be your answer, so obviously you know that is not the real answer, and then you can kind of look at the other person who's not the razzer and see what they pick, and you can probably get an idea a lot of the time what the real answer is. So 4 players plus is the way to go. Honestly, I think the sweet spot is like 5 to 10 players. I really enjoyed it at that player count. Another comment of the game is that some of the cards are really wordy on the back. I'll just pull one out and give you an example. So here we go. What is the movie Shack Out on 101 about? Well, the card would have you write 1950s suspense that takes place in a roadside restaurant with a waitress who serves communists and chauvinist pigs. That's really lengthy, really specific, and really wordy, which makes it sound like it might be the right answer. Now, if you play with an older crowd who doesn't mind writing 2 or 3 sentences for each answer and really getting into intricate details about what things mean and what people did, then that will work. That's just fine. But if you're playing with a family crowd, especially with younger kids, because you can definitely play this with younger kids. I played it with 8, 9, 10-year-olds. They had a blast with it. You're going to want to dumb down those answers. What I told the kids was, if you're the razzer and you see that answer, I want you to dumb that answer down. I want you to think of how you would write that answer and then write that down so it sounds like somebody else's answer. The game can also have some cons here and there with just with table talk that's not really table talk. Like if you really laugh at your answers, you pass it in. That's funny. Well, then people are obviously going to be looking for the really funny answer because the really funny answer is probably going to be false and no one's going to pick it. There's little intricacies like that can happen in the game. The same sheets of paper, like if someone's writing on orange paper and someone's writing on white paper, and all of a sudden you see that the reader is reading it and it's an orange paper and that person is not the razzer, well then you're like, well, I know that orange piece of paper that he just read is not going to be the correct answer. There's little tiny things like that, so you really do need to have a good space set up to play it, ideally. But all this is nitpicks. Everything that I'm telling you, aside from the player count, definitely don't play 2 or 3 players. Aside from the player count, you can sweep under the rug. Because if you're in the market for a party game, and if you're in the market for a family game, and your kids, I'd say, are 8, 9, 10 plus, Beyond Balderdash is fantastic. This is a home run, no doubt about it. It is a game that has stood the test of time, and it will continue to stand the test of time because it's just such a dirt simple concept, and it's a really fun game. So what I like about Beyond Balderdash, first and foremost, it has a lot of the great criteria of party games. Easy to learn, easy to teach, really an unlimited player count. I mean, all you got to do is get more pawns or pieces to keep track of the score, which is always a good thing. You can have this thing up and running in under a minute and a half. You can do a practice round, no problem. Also, there is tons and tons and tons of these cards, and there's 5 on each of these. Now, I think the older version only had 4, but still, that's a lot of different things. Also, the stuff in here is really difficult. Like, I think in my lifetime playing this, I probably played this 30 times over the course of the last 20 years. I have only known one answer, which is kind of crazy, because I know a lot of stupid, useless trivia. I've only known one answer. So you're not going to run into that issue, which I really do like. And the bottom line is you're going to forget most of this stuff as soon as it comes into your brain. Easy to keep track of the score, and it just goes over well with everybody. I've never had anybody who disliked this game. It's just If you're in the market for a party game, if you're in the market for a family game or family get-together game, look no further. Beyond Balderdash is a great choice. Also, I'm not sure if it's in print or not, but you can easily find one of these at like your local Goodwill or thrift shop. Keep your eyes open. Visit, once a week or something like that. And I pretty much can tell you're probably going to find it within a month or two. Because it's had many different reprints of it. It's been made over and over and over again, so there's tons of these floating around in circulation. But that is Beyond Balderdash, one that I absolutely can recommend. It's going to stay in my collection. Actually, it's going to go into my classroom collection to play with the kids. But even if I didn't have a classroom, this one would stay in my collection because it is just such a stupid, simple party game. And if you got the right group of people, it can be absolutely hilarious and just a great overall game. Beyond Balderdash, highly recommend this one. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. Would you rather go fishing or hunting for 2.5 hours? Me personally, I would rather go hunting. I think that would be really kind of cool. Because you have to be super patient with either of them, and I'm not the best with patience because I have ADHD and I just got to be moving all around. But being able to shoot something, I think I would enjoy it more than fishing. Plus, I get to go fishing, whenever I want when I go up to the lake, because I got this little crummy lake house. It's not a lake house. It's like a lake pull-behind camper that's got like one bedroom. But still, anyway, I can fish whenever I want. That's the point that I'm trying to get there. Whereas hunting, can't always do what I want because I don't have a gun. And yeah, I wouldn't know the first thing about it. But let me know in the comments below. Fishing or hunting for 2.5 hours. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.